Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing Season 3. We're here with race 20 at Aquamaring, created by our own Boer, who cannot make it to today's race. I've just been told in the chat that he's at a concert, so hopefully he has a great time at that concert. But apparently we have Mrs. Boer with us. I don't know how you'd prefer to be referred to, whether you'd be referred to as Mrs. Boer, or I'm not entirely sure how to say your Twitch name. I'll probably end up butchering it, so let me know. See Iceman saying, won't be able to make it since you have to leave now. Everyone have a good race. If I don't win, it's rigged. GG everyone. Thanks for letting me know, Iceman. No worries at all. You can always watch it back. Mrs. Boy is fine. Awesome. There we go. And we have Pesky Bird as well. And this is Pesky Bird's here. So hello, Pesky Bird as well. So it is currently absolutely roasting here. I am melting. And for those who say the temperatures in the UK aren't that hot compared to other places in the world, haven't been to the UK to actually feel it for themselves, because it is totally different. I wouldn't mind, hot temperatures in other countries. You go to Spain or wherever. Spain, just the first example that came to my head. Could deal with hotter heat. It's nice and dry, lovely. But in the UK, you feel like you're being swallowed and devoured by the heat. It is absolutely awful. So yeah, it's fun, and tomorrow is meant to be even hotter, and having headphones on, and we don't have aircon in the UK. So it's not great. Fans are not amazing. So having the joys of this lovely hot weather at the moment. So, on with the race. We get like 35 normally, plus humidity. See, as soon as it hits mid to high 20s in the UK, the humidity is awful anyway. It's like you have a weight on you. It's not even just like nice warmth. It's not as bad sometimes if you're outside, but it's just different. It's different heat. It's just different. Anyway, and I got a redeemed hydrate, so I'll do that before going into the standings. But yeah, going on from all of that, current standings going into this race as we are getting closer and closer to the end of the season. Jimmy is now currently leading with 380 points. Marnie is in second with 379. Superboss is in third with 370. Iceman in fourth with 369. Azure in fifth with 358. Pesky Bird in sixth with 349. Cheese in seventh with 336. Boer in eighth with 334. And Demon in ninth with 317. Not a great season. Getting closer to the end. It is not looking good for Demon. Trailing by quite a bit at the moment. Not sure if they're able to pull it back at this point. Losing the hope there, but who knows? Haven't really worked out the maths on that one, but we'll see. So as we get down to these final few races, positions get even more crucial and important. Points really matter here. To try and get into that top three and a chance of winning a portion of that prize pool for being in the top three. Once again, £25 to the winner, 15 for the second place, and £10 for third. So over to the track. So as I said, we're here at Aquamaring. This is a JMR track, just so people are aware. It is a recreation. I have altered it slightly, same with the previous one that we played. The start finish has been moved from the top down to the bottom, so it was start at the top, finish at the bottom. Just moved it all down to the bottom just because it runs a little bit easier, as with the last one. Also forgot to say thanks Mrs. Worth for the follow as well as being here to watch. Also another follower, so that is awesome. Thanks for that. Every follow is appreciated. We're currently at 145, so our next goal is 150. If we can get there, that would be amazing. So we start off with a big ladder from the beginning. Quite a small track again. A few winding turns early on. Going into a couple of sharp turns and a drop down where it will be split either to the left or to the right. You have to figure out which route is the best and which line is going to be the fastest coming through here. Then into a big sweeping left-hander. And then round, all the way around to the finish. So nothing too complicated, pretty straightforward. And let's get everyone into their positions. And pause. 12 laps around this track, reverse grid order as always. We have Marnie starting up at the front. Probably hoping for some big points here to try and reclaim that first position. And with Jimmy starting at the back, this could be a good chance for Marnie to try and reclaim that spot. But we'll see if Jimmy can fight their way up or if Marnie can keep hold of one of the top spots from the start. As anything can happen. So let's get the lights counting down and the race underway. So Jimmy and Azur having some difficulties with the ladder. Azur having a lot of difficulties with the ladder at the start. Iceman, Demon, Marnie and Pesky Bird are going to be side by side. Going up to the top. And the release, Marnie's going to have the inside line. Going to block Pesky Bird. Iceman getting past Demon, goes for a lunge on Pesky Bird as well, but doesn't make it work. So front five at the moment very close together. No breakaways yet. Going into the drop down. Marnie has a collision, Cheese has a collision, both on that inside wall. The splitting point. Slowing them down. Meaning Pesky Bird's move up to first. Iceman with a bit of trouble there means Demon's going to come through, but Iceman will make a lunge back in front of Demon. So Iceman in second, Demon in third, Boer in fourth. Going up to the ladder. Now these ladders can be absolute game changers. Can make or break your race. Hello Super Boss, glad you can make it. In fact, we saw there at the ladder Pesky Bird getting on nice and smooth. Iceman having some difficulties means Cheese and Marnie will be side by side. Iceman just behind, followed by Boer. And then Demon dropping some time, followed by Jimmy, Super Boss, and then Azur. So Iceman going from inside to out. Boer's going to hook the inside line, which is a quicker run. Imagine to get past Iceman. Cheese looking for a way past Marnie. Pesky Bird has a rough bounce, so does Boer, dropping positions there. Marnie colliding with that inside bit again, also colliding with Iceman. And I think Boer got picked up in that as well, so it's all chaos through the split section. And Boer coming out the worst in that's dropped all the way down to 8th. But Cheese moving up to first. Now in front of Pesky Bird. Marnie in third, Iceman fourth, Demon in fifth. Onto the ladder, Marnie's on. There's a bit of trouble further back. Jimmy with a good lunge there. Really trying to pick up some positions here, starting at the back. And fighting their way through now into the top 3. Trying to keep hold of that first spot and not let Marnie take it back. It is quite a short track. So Boer's now currently at the back. Not a great situation going onto the ladder. It has been a rough season for Boer. Both Demon and Boer having it quite rough, but Cheese, absolute disaster up at the front, has hit the curb and has gone over the edge and off the track. That is Cheese out of the race from first place, and Marnie's going to move up to first, battling with Jimmy. So F's in the chat for Cheese going off the track. And our first DNF, but will it be our only DNF of the race? An unfortunate end to the race for Cheese. Onto the ladder, Marnie with a bounce backwards means Jimmy's going to sneak on with Super Boss side by side with Marnie. So Jimmy's now moved up to first. It is going to be quite the battle here between Jimmy, Marnie and Superboss, all battling it out at the top of the leaderboard in this series. And boy, having difficulties with the ladder, really having difficulties with the ladder. And it is proving to be very costly. But talking about people at the top, Iceman recently made a jump up to competing in the top 3 as well. So Iceman currently hanging back will probably be looking for an opportunity to make a pass on 1, 2, maybe all of these top 3. So we currently have the season leaders batting out in the top 4, I think, if I am remembering correctly. Oh, Superboss hits the middle. Manny again hitting the middle, having difficulties with that split section. Iceman's going to gain, trying to find the opportunity there, but gets blocked out by Superboss and Marnie. Jimmy's going to try and break away in the lead. We also have Demon gaining now as well, while this battle is going on. Going round to the ladder once again, Jimmy goes straight on. Perfect entry. Superboss and Iceman bounce backwards. Marnie doesn't make it on. Having some issues there, but makes it on alongside Demon. So Iceman and Superboss will be side by side. Azur's block Pesky Bird. And we're currently trailing. Yes, Marnie's having some troubles with the divider. It's costing quite a bit of time. You have to figure that out if they want to try and fight for that top spot. And pain for Pesky Bird. So Jimmy is breaking away up at the front. Has been an absolute great showing from Jimmy after getting their first win. Has been consistently at the front since that moment. It looks like Mize managed to get through clean, but Demon doing a bit of blocking work. Probably not intentional, looked like a slight collision off the wall. But both of them getting past Superboss, as Superboss went quite slow through that section. Jimmy onto the ladder straight away once again. Iceman second, so it's currently an icebreaker first and second. Marnie, Demon and Superboss all going to be side by side. Pesky Bird makes a lunge past Azur, getting on the ladder in front. And Boer coasting along behind at the moment. Having some more issues with the ladder. I have a feeling Boer may have given up this season. The first win was in the middle of a stretch of my only bottom 3 finishes. Well, since the win, an absolute dominating performance. Considering Jimmy's been in the top 3 without a win even prior to that first win was pretty incredible. The consistency has been amazing. Marnie's consistency has been falling off in these final few races. Say final few, probably the final quarter. Just having some difficulties with his later races and keeping that consistency going. So Superboss, Pesky Bird with a big lunge there. He's going to be alongside Superboss now for 3rd place. Demon and Marnie side by side. Azur's going to have a couple of rebounds on the ladder, and then Boer coming round at the back once again. The one upside here for Boer is that they can't finish 9th, as Cheese has already claimed that spot. So Jimmy currently leading and with the fastest lap. If they can keep that going, then it's going to be big for the points and just extend that lead in the series. Pesky Bird is just holding Superboss off. Superboss looking to try and get inside line. Makes it work as Pesky Bird has some trouble there. Demon with a big lunge as well is going to split between them. Superboss with a bad landing causes a big collision. And Marnie comes out at the front. Pesky Bird just behind. Then Demon, then Superboss. And Iceman is just behind Jimmy. Could be seeing a bit of racing going on between the two teammates. And Iceman actually getting the overtake on the ladder. So Iceman will be leading on lap 8. Jimmy just behind, Marnie in 3rd, Pesky Bird in 4th, Demon in 5th, Superboss having some issues with the ladder is going to get on in 6th, Azure in 7th, and Boer coming around in 8th. Azure having a few troubles there, but has quite a bit of time to work with. So the main battle at the moment is between the top 6. So up at the front, Iceman and Jimmy. Very close together. They don't want to battle too aggressive, or they're going to put both of their positions at risk to those behind. Different lines by both of them coming into the drop down. Oh, Jimmy has a bit of a rough landing and slowing them down massively. A big time loss. Marnie carrying more speed. Has finally managed to figure out how to avoid that divider, and it is paying off. Not enough to catch up with Jimmy though. It's heading round to the ladder. Everyone's got a bit of a separation between them. Iceman with a perfect entry onto the ladder. It's going to be close here. Jimmy does just make it on before Marnie can get there. Marnie does rebound before making it on. Pesky Bird having some trouble. 2 bounces there. Demon also in trouble. Pesky Bird is on. Demon and Superboss struggling. Both finally make it on. Demon just in front of Superboss. And then Azure comes round. A pretty clean entrance onto that ladder. And then Boer still holding that 8th position. And still having issues with the ladder, just making that gap bigger every lap. Up at the front, Marnie is gaining on Jimmy. Iceman making a bit of a breakaway in that number 1 position. It's a good drop for Iceman, a lot of speed. Jimmy with a bit of a slow corner there, has Marnie just behind. Jimmy's going to hit the divider. Marnie coming through narrowly, avoiding a crash. And Jimmy's running slow, but no one else close enough to do anything about it. This does mean Marnie moves up into 2nd, Jimmy now in 3rd. Pesky Bird now actually gaining on Jimmy with some good speed through that section. Demon and Superboss just behind. So now Jimmy could be at risk. Gonna need to get onto the ladder here. Couple of bounces. The Pesky Bird as well. Demon sneaks through and takes that position from Pesky Bird. He's going to move up to 4th. Pesky Bird down to 5th, and Superboss in 6th. Up at the top on lap 10. Iceman is on the move once again. Quite the lead at the moment. And quite the gap between Marnie and Jimmy as well. Jimmy has Demon and Pesky Bird just behind. Iceman has a good drop down in the background, a lot of speed through there. Marnie with a slow turn, but lining up for a good drop down. Jimmy with good speed as well. See Demon taking the left side, Pesky Bird on the right side. Pesky Bird's going to have better exit speed, is going to make the pass. Getting in front of Demon. Demon trying to fight back, does manage to sneak just past Pesky Bird and is now playing blocking. But Pesky Bird with a better line into the next corner will take that position straight back. Up at the ladder, Marnie and Jimmy both having difficulties getting on, but Jimmy is past Marnie and Pesky Bird sneaks past as well. That is costly for Marnie. And that puts Jimmy back in front. Demon and Superboss side by side. And Iceman still with quite the lead on lap 11. Jimmy's going to be looking to try and finish ahead of Marnie to keep hold of that first place. Does also have Iceman to think about. The two teammates could end up battling each other down to the end if they stay consistent with these high finishes this late into the season. We could also see Pesky Bird come out of nowhere. Hit on the divider though if Pesky Bird's going to be costly. Jimmy with a bad exit speed. Superboss has good speed here. Pesky Bird's going for a lunge up the inside of Marnie. Bad collision with the wall though. Superboss is going to sneak through using all that momentum. Has a good line to make a lunge in front of Marnie as well. So Superboss getting 2 positions there. See what happens at the ladder as we are onto the final lap of the race. This could be the important ladder for everyone. And it's quite smooth. Demon on very well. See us with a bit of a bounce. We see Boer making their way around. Quite the gap back to Boer. It looks like it's going to be a guaranteed 8th place. So Iceman on the final lap. Still with a strong lead. It's looking good for Iceman right now. Gonna try and see what's going on in the background as well, while we follow Iceman around the final section. You can see Superboss and Jimmy battling it out, Pesky Bird and Marnie battling it out. We'll get an angle here so we can see Iceman coming across the line. A massive lead, a great race for Iceman. Consistency was all there, and Iceman taking the fastest lap and the win. Superboss managing to pass Jimmy as well through the divided section. Pesky Bird dropping slightly. On the final lap, Superboss is going to come around. It's not going to be a 1-2 for the Icebreakers as Superboss comes through to take 2nd. Jimmy comes through in 3rd. Marnie's going to be 4th, 1 spot behind Jimmy. Demon in 5th. Pesky Bird is going to have to take 6th. And as in 7th. And we have Boer just making their way around now. So great race there for Iceman. A massive lead coming up to the end there. Great consistency. Claps in the chat. Well done to Iceman. Almost a lap behind for Boer. Indeed. But does make it through without the DNF. And now we just wait for the 60-second DNF timer to count down, to count cheese out. And we'll go over to our winning marble cam. Iceman, congratulations again on the win. Be interesting to see how the standings are going to be looking after this race. Tell you what, we're seeing some late showings here to get into them top 3 positions for a chance to get a piece of that prize pool. I always say it's never too late. Anything can happen. And Marnie looking like they could be at risk of falling out of that top 3. So there we go. The DNF has come through. So I'm going to go and put these results over into the leaderboard, and I'll be back with the standings in just a minute. Alright, the results have been entered. I did notice as well, Superboss actually ended up taking the fastest lap. I think it said Iceman took it on that final lap, but Superboss took it away. So Superboss does get that extra fastest lap point. But the results have been entered, so let's go and see the updated standings. So, following that race, Jimmy is leading with 402 points. Iceman is now in 2nd place with 399. We have the two icebreakers, 1-2 currently in the standings. 1 point behind is Marnie, now in third, at risk of dropping out the top three. They need to be nerfed, Pesky Bird is saying. Tell you what, they've really come through late into this season, and we'll see if they can keep holding on all the way to the end. Still a few races to go. Yes, Marnie just in third with 398. Superboss is in fourth with 396, so very close, just outside that top three. Azert in fifth with 372. Pesky Bird in sixth with 364. Cheese in seventh with 348. We're in eighth with 347, a 1 point difference between them two having their own battle for position. And Demon still in ninth with 334. So, a great race. 1-2 for the icebreakers currently. We'll see if they can hold that all the way to the end. See if Marnie can bring the consistency back and try and fight their way back up, or whether they're going to get knocked out of the top three. Maybe by Superboss, maybe by someone else. Who knows? Could see someone else come in and take one of the spots up in the top three. And will we see Demon move out of ninth place? You know, you can make your predictions, make your guesses. As we have, how many tracks do we have left? 7 races left. 7 races left. So next week, the end of next week, the season will be over and we'll have our winners. We'll have our top three. So a couple weeks of racing left. But that is going to do it for this one. So as always, I appreciate everyone's support. Everyone who joins to watch these, everyone who watches on YouTube, even if you can't make it to these or you prefer to watch it over there, all the views, really appreciate it all. Superboss prediction that someone will win, a very bold prediction, that one, very bold prediction. I haven't even thought about what happens if there's a tie. We will have to have a tiebreaker race of some kind. I may have to think about that with how close this race is up at the top right now. Or I should say how close this season is up at the top. It is very possible we have some kind of tie and a tiebreaker needed at the top. For those lower down, probably outside of the top three, it's probably not as worrying. It will be alphabetical by player name. But with the prize pool and everything, the top three tiebreakers will have to take place if we do have that situation occur. But yes, that is it for this stream and this race. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.